Yo, I have watched the NFL since I was little, but I never really thought about what I was actually watching. I never really knew the rules as well as most of the teams. I would just watch, and whoever won to me. But as I got older, I started to wonder, who is the worst team? In the modern day NFL, there are 32 NFL teams, split off into two conferences, with each conference being split into 4 divisions, with those being the North, East, South, and West. To determine the worst team in the NFL, they need to fit into 3 criteria: lack of championship wins, no modern success, and a low overall win rate. For example, even though the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have the lowest win rate in the NFL, with an overall record of 326 to 466 and 1, they have won themselves 2 Super Bowls, with one in 2003 against the Oakland Raiders and one in 2021 with Tom Brady against the Kansas City Chiefs, which knocks Tampa Bay off of this list, even though they have had a bad win rate. Alright, I feel like we can get rid of teams that have multiple Super Bowl wins, as this proves that they were able to win not just once, but multiple times. This knocks off teams such as the New England Patriots, Pittsburgh Steelers, Dallas Cowboys, San Francisco 49ers, Green Bay Packers, Kansas City Chiefs, New York Giants, Denver Broncos, Las Vegas Raiders, Washington Commanders, Baltimore Ravens, Indianapolis Colts, Miami Dolphins, Philadelphia Eagles, and the new champion Seattle Seahawks. Although many of these teams do not have modern success and a low win rate, they are not candidates for the worst team ever due to them still being able to win multiple times. Although, I feel like I should also remove the teams with at least 1 Super Bowl as well. Even though the Jets aren't what I would consider a stellar team, this removes, as I said, the New York Jets, as well as the Chicago Bears and the New Orleans Saints. So, now we have our definitive list of 12 teams who could be considered the worst of all time. Now, I'm going to be using those other 2 criteria to see which of these teams is the least worst and the worst. But who really is the best of the worst? Let's start with making the Super Bowl 4 times in a row in the 90s and losing all 4 is pretty bad, but it comes with its benefits. For one, the Bills have championship experience, and they have the ability to win games as they had to work their way up each of those 4 years. Also, the Bills have had modern success with arguably the best quarterback in the league, Josh Allen. So in my opinion, I feel like the Buffalo Bills have a solid chance to not just make it to a Super Bowl again, but to finally hoist the Lombardi. Who knows, maybe they could do it this year. Unlike the Buffalo Bills, the Bengals are a team who have lost in many different eras of the NFL. Losing in 1982, 1989, and 2022, they are pretty much destined to win, just like the Bills. Also like the Bills, they have a really good quarterback in Joe Burrow, as well as an even better wide receiver in Jamar Chase. So I do feel like the Bengals are a good team as they are able to consistently make the playoffs, as well as the Super Bowl, and have generational talent.
I don't mean to spoil the party, but does anyone else notice we're stuck in the middle of the ocean on this couch? I mean, it's not like a big gigantic ship is just gonna come out of nowhere and save us, my God!
The Minnesota Vikings are a team who have never really come back. Losing 4 Super Bowls in the 1970s, they haven't made it back since, even though they have gotten close dozens of times, especially throughout the 2010s. Right now, the Minnesota Vikings are considered a alright team, making the playoffs in the 2024 season but losing badly in the wildcard round to the Los Angeles Rams. Overall, I don't think the Vikings have that much of a chance to make the championship in the modern day NFL, but hey, maybe they could surprise us. The Los Angeles Chargers have a similar fate to the Cincinnati Bengals, except they haven't had as much success when it matters most. Losing a Super Bowl in 1995 to the 49ers, they've never really had a generational team in their 75 years of existence. The reason why they aren't higher on this list, however, is because of how much potential the modern team has, with young stars like Justin Herbert, this team has managed to sneak their way into the playoffs consistently in the past few years. Maybe this team is the one that will bring little brother LA a Super Bowl. The Houston Texans are the newest team in the NFL, and they were established in 2002. Since then, however, they haven't even sniffed a Super Bowl, and they are one of 4 teams to never do so. The thing about the Houston Texans is that they have a very strong modern team with one of the best defenses in the league. So, I think that the future is very bright for the Houston Texans. The Lions are a team that also haven't made it to the Super Bowl, but I feel like that could change very soon. Although they are one of 2 teams that have gone the prestigious 0-16, they have a very solid modern team with talent such as Amon-Ra St. Brown, as well as Jahmyr Gibbs and Jared Goff. Do I think that they could win a Super Bowl? No, but I do think that they have the ability to go far. The Jacksonville Jaguars are a team who hasn't really been good throughout its history. They haven't made a Super Bowl, and they have a losing overall record of 215 to 286. So, why aren't they higher? Like a lot of teams on this list, the Jags have had a very solid season with quarterback Trevor Lawrence and a solid supporting cast, leading to a 13-4 record in 2025. Overall, the Jags have had a very good future ahead of them. Okay, let's face it, the Atlanta Falcons are so mid it's not even funny. They have lost the Super Bowl twice, but all everyone cares about is the 28-3 Tom Brady comeback. They don't have that much of a future because their team is not that good. I think that it's pretty unlikely that we see the Falcons pull off something legendary.
Mark's Pizzeria. This year we're celebrating 35 years in business. Did you know?
The Panthers are another NFC South team that hasn't had much success. Losing 2 Super Bowls, the Carolina Panthers aren't a good team, but overall the Panthers have had multiple opportunities to make it, which I can't say about the other teams higher in this list.
You know those people who can't take a joke?
The Browns are a pretty terrible team. They are the second oldest team to have never made a Super Bowl, they are the most recent team to go 0-16, and they haven't even made the playoffs since 2023. And they haven't even made the divisional round since 1994. However, the Browns do have a pretty good defense with the arguably best defensive end in the league, Myles Garrett, and that makes them not the worst team on this list. The Titans are a bad team. They have minimal playoff success, a Super Bowl loss in the early 2000s, and a constant modern punching bag by pretty much everyone else in the league. The Tennessee Titans will take number 2 on this list, only behind the Arizona Cardinals. Overall, not only are the Cardinals not a good team in general, but their future might be the most cooked out of any team in the NFL. Due to these reasons, I believe that the Arizona Cardinals are the worst team in the NFL. And in conclusion, who is genuinely a Cardinals fan? I have never met one.